Hello, continuing from where we left off last time with our tiny core installation. I promised you in this next session I will show you how to configure a couple of things and maybe explore a little more in depth the operating system. So let's see how we can do these things. I have the virtual machine right here. So let's go to our TCE folder. If you remember from the last time, we have this only one hard drive which contains our TCE folder. So I have told you that in the optional directory we should see the installed extensions. So if you remember, you might ask, all right, but last time you have installed an extension, the guided installation wizard, which is not appearing here right now. That's right, because when we did install that extension, it was in the live booted version of the system. This is basically the installed on the hard drive version of the system. So it's like a different installation, right? So let's install our first extension here. I will use the package manager TCE and search for Midnight Commander. It's here at number 10. It gives me this info. I type Q and then I for install. And the installation is starting. As you can see, some dependencies are also installed, some libraries also. You should notice that libraries are considered also as extensions. So the extension is installed. I type Q, and if I'm trying to start Midnight Commander, you can see it right here. I will exit out of here, and let's display the content of the optional folder right now. As you can see, there are quite some extensions here, including the Midnight Commander. This one here, I cannot select it because I'm in a VirtualBox console. And another thing that you need to know is this onboot.lst. Sorry, onboot, which contains the names of the extensions that you want to be loaded when the system is started. So right now you have MC. Another thing I told you, these extensions are SquashFS archives, which are mounted as file system. And if we display the mounted file systems right now, we can see that we have some mounts in here, and we can find also our extensions here. You can see here. Let me see if I can. All right, my pen is working. So our extension and all of these extensions, you can see there are SquashFS, right? So all right. Let's see what else we should know about this system. Let's go to what? It's not working very. To our opt folder. Here are you can find some important files. I'm interested in these two, Bootlocal and Bootsync. Bootlocal is a file where you put your custom scripts that you want to be started with the system. Actually, Bootlocal is referred from Bootsync. If you display Bootsync, you can see it's doing two things: setting the name, the host name, and running the other script, bootlocal. So I'm going to be using this bootlocal to configure my network settings. Right now, we have one network interface which has this IP address it's from a NAT network of my VirtualBox. I want to add a secondary network interface and configure it. my target is to have a network interface with a local IP, and after that to connect to the with SSH to this tiny core installation. So I will halt this, sorry, because I want to add another network card. Sorry. So we go to networks. You can see this is the one I have right now. And I'm adding another one. I have a host only adapter here. Okay. I want to be in promiscuous mode. This is not important anyway right now. And we start it again. So by default, when this is installed and the default network configuration, it configures the IP through DHCP. So it tries to find the DHCP server to configure the IPs. So I also have a DHCP server for the secondary network, but I do not want to use DHCP. I want to use a static address. So the way I will do that, the DHCP client, if we display the processes, hope I will identify it. Here is this one, UDHCPC, which creates let's see. Yes, it creates a PID file for each network interface. ETH1. All right. So the way I would configure a static IP address is through a script which I will create right now. So let's do it like this. ETH1 sh. Sorry. Bash. So first, what I need to do is to see if I have a PID file. Var run HCPC, I think. Let's see. Sorry. All right, so this is called udhcpc dot eth1.pid. We are testing for the existence of this file. So if this file exists, then we should kill the process. Cut the same file. We are displaying the content of the hcpc eth1.pid. All right. Let's add a sleep command. And now we are actually configuring the IP address. So if config eth1 add, I don't remember the exact syntax of the command, but whatever. 192.168.50.10, let's say, at mask. And also, I don't need a default route actually, because my default route is through the other interface. Let's test the script. Actually, let's make it executable. Mode +6 H1. All right. Sorry, I forgot the parenthesis right here. What's going on? Let's use sh. Sorry, I'm not so good with scripting. I always forget the closing file. ETH1, blah blah blah. Can't open. Another typo. Let's check again. Var run. So udhcpc, blah blah blah. Okay. Operation not permitted. Let's go with sudo eth1 tralala if config. So we are configuring the network with the static IP address. If we go back here, when we first displayed the IP address, you can see it has a different address, and also we don't have, or we shouldn't have, two client DHCP clients running. So right now the script is working. We should refer it in bootlocal. Yeah, bootlocal.sh. So we should put opt eth1sh and send it to background. So that's fine. It's read only. Sorry. ETH1. Sorry, we should put the full path. Is the safest way. Opt eth1sh. And also, it's important to add this ampersand to put it to the background. Otherwise, the system might hang at this point. So, all right. Let's also install the SSHD daemon, the extension. You see, sorry, you cannot install this as you cannot install extensions as root. So I want SSHD, no, SSH. It seems I have a network problem right now. Let's check the routes. All right. It seems it cannot resolve. Let's put here a name server. All right, it should work now. Search SSH, blah 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 blah, is number 5, the open SSH. Install it. Okay, it's working. Quit. Now the program is installed. We should be good to reboot. Let's check that. And after that, we will try and log in through SSH with a remote terminal. It's taking a while. All right, let's check the IP address. Nah, my script is not doesn't seem to be working. Why is that? I know why it's not working. Actually, it's a stupid mistake. First, as you can see here, there's no script. So this brings me to the persistency topic, which I missed until now. So let's tackle this. If you want to have persistency, actually everything you are seeing mounted here is not persistent across reboots. So the way we do this persistent is by running this script with flag B from backup, which will create this my.data.tgz file, and it will copy here the files that we are specifying we want to be persistent. And the way we do that, also in this opt folder, if we type and if we list hidden files, you can see there are two hidden files, file tool and xfile tool. So in file tool, I should list the folders and files that I want to be backed up. Right now we have opt and home. So we should be good if we put a script in here. We should be good to have it persistent. So I need to create again the script eth1.sh. This should be too long. Bin sh. So first we test for the existence of the PID file var run udhcpc.eth1.pid. Then we should kill the process. eth1.pid, close the parentheses, close the if loop, and sleep for 0.2 seconds. And now configuring the actual IP address of the interface. If config eth1 add 192.168.50.10 net mask, and I want to be up, and I will not add a default route or anything like that. I will save this and test it. First, make it executable, change mode. It seems to be all right. Let's check again the network connectivity. Again, we don't have a name server address, so I will also do that. Resolve, so name server, good old Google. So let's go again and check which files are backed up. As you can see, right now the setting of the name server, as I typed it in the resolve file, will not be backed up. It will not be persistent. So I want also here to specify the etc folder. And if I go like this now, you can see that it's backing my files up. We can also open the archive if you want. sdatc. I should use Midnight Commander, as I already have it. So what you can see here, we have the complete folders. You need to be careful with the amount of files that you send to this my.data.tgz, because the more you put here, the slower will be the system boot. You should put only the files that you are interested to have persistent. So let's see if we still have SSH extension installed. I don't know if I showed you under this folder the extensions are mounted. So I have SSH. Another thing about temp TC loop that you should know is that, let's take for example MC, and I don't know if I have this. MC is under USR local bin MC, but if I display that file, you will see there's a symbolic link to where the file actually is mounted from the extension. All right. So this is how this works. So right now, I think I should be able to connect through SSH to this machine. So let's see if we can do that. SSH. I don't have a username actually right now. We are automatically logged in as user TC. I want to add another username, like an admin username. Let's see, user add. We have user add. We don't have user add. Add user. We have add user. Add user. So admin minus shell bin sh minus my home folder is here. I don't care about anything else. What? Let's simplify this. I don't know what. Now is this Jekyll's all right, new password. So we should be good to go. So admin 192.168.50.10. Nah, doesn't seem to be working. Let's check again the IP address. 168.50.10. 192.168.50.10. This one is working. Let's check the virtual machine for a moment. So I have this. Okay, I have this one. What's going on here? 192.168.50. No. You can see there's a mistake in here. Well, actually, it's a mistake in what I've configured for the interface. So let's go back to our script, and we put here 56 instead of 56, should we? And run the script again, eth1. So let's see now, 56.1 seems to be working. Connection refused. Why is that? I don't know. As you will see, we don't have any messages. We don't have syslog. I will show you how to activate it. Let's check the configuration file of the OpenSSH of the SSHD server. So the configuration file is referred, actually, let's see where it is originally. It is under temp TC loop, under OpenSSH, user, local, etc sshd config original. So this is where this file is originally, where it is created originally. So what I should do is have a file like this under user local. Let's see what we have in here. SSH. Right. I should create actually the configuration file because I don't have right now a configuration file SSH. So I'm starting from sshd config orig, and I create sshd config conf, I think, maybe. Also, with this occasion, let's check the initialization script of the SSHD server. So that should be under user local etc initd. All the, or most of the extensions are using this this path for their initialization scripts. So this one is it. Let's check. All right, so it's checking for sshd config without anything after that. So let's go back and edit the name of the file. Conf sshd config, and we should be good. And let's try and restart the OpenSSH daemon. So now it's actually starting the server. Let's go again and try to connect. Actually, let's make these fonts a bit bigger. How we can do that? Let's see if I... What? I want to use a 22 font. Let's see if that's enough. All right. So let's pray. All right. Unknown SSH key. It's asking for the password, and voila, we are connected through SSH to our new tiny core box. So I gave you most of the useful information regarding configuration. I still have a couple of things that I want to show you. I want to talk about boot codes, and let's go and see that. I will use now this nice terminal as I have it. So boot codes. Let's go to the where the bootloader is installed in the TCE folder. SDA TCE boot, and see the configuration file of the bootloader xlinux.conf. So we are appending these options right here. The options that the option that they have here, which is very important, is the TCE folder path, which is specified as universal ID or something like that. You can also specify it like this. SDA1 TCE is not right or wrong. It's just another variant to specify this. So actually, I should exit out of this because it's opened in read-only. So I should go to I'm not sudo. I don't have a sudo, right? So let's also install sudo. the extension. Sorry. Let's go and try to search from the provide perspective. I don't have this. Anyway, I don't need sudo. I just need to let's see. It's already installed. So I should edit this. I should edit with sudo edit. Let's see sudoers, and let's also add our admin user here, and we should be all right. Let's make a backup, and let's connect again. And we are all right. So we were editing the bootloader configuration file. So I showed you another version to specify the TCE folder. Right. So before we are going any further, let's see a couple of other boot codes that are useful. I can specify the host name. Let's say TC box. I can specify, actually, I have a list of boot codes right here. Let's see if I can, this one is. So we can specify the TCE folder. I can specify no auto login, so on the console is not automatically logging in with TC user. Let's go and do that. I can specify no swap. Let's see actually which of these codes are actually more useful. Let's mark them. So I will use this one. I will use this one. User, I don't care about it. It's allowing me to create the default user with a different name. I can use this one to boot in text mode. I cannot boot in other mode right now because I don't have any graphical environment installed. I don't want to use no swap or swap file. This is an important one, but I don't remember the exact syntax of the time zone specification, so you should look that up in tiny core documentation. Also, this one, home and opt, are allowing you to mount your own folders. Also in the persistency chapter, let's say. Show apps, yeah, it's nice. It will display the installed extensions when the system is booting. No restore. I definitely do not want this because this will not restore my persistent files. Restore, if you want to specify a custom folder for where my data TGZ resides, I don't care about that right now. I don't want to modify that. Base, if you don't want to install any extension, that's not very useful. My data also, if you want to modify the name of the folder, my data host, I already shown you. And these two ones are very important because these ones allow me to have cron and syslog running. As I already shown you, right now we don't have any syslog, so that would be a useful option. So let's go and try to configure those options. So no auto login, text, sorry, what? Text, show apps, all right, show apps. Host, I already used that one, and I will use syslog. I saved the file. Let's load it again just to be sure. Blah 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 blah. TC host show apps, and that's it. So for this file, the bootloader configuration file, I don't need to do anything with regards to persistency, because the file resides on my hard drive. It's not a file which is in RAM. So for any modifications that I might have missed, I will run again the backup command, and let's reboot the machine and see if this is truly working. Let's display also the console. Blah blah. You can see TC box. The boot option is working. Loading extensions. It's displaying the extensions that is loading. Restoring backup. And I also have the login prompt. Also the users, the user I have created, the admin user, is I have it now because the configured persistency. When I created the user, I created some files under etc, and those have been backed up in my data TGZ, and this is why I have now the possibility to log in as admin. So that's pretty much it. I will show you some more things actually before I go. Under sysconfig, etc sysconfig, there are also some very important files. The base initialization scripts are residing in here. So not under sysconfig actually. Sorry, under sysconfig, the interesting file is actually this symbolic link, tcdir. This one right here. Sorry. My data, I think it's specifying where my data is. Anyway, more important than this is what's going on? Something strange. Let's go to the SSH. Something is broken. I don't know exactly what. If config. The initialization script has not run. Let's go and check that and see. This video is already quite long, but anyway, I think I have missed referring it in bootlocal. I also need a command, don't I? So yeah, that was the reason. Opt eth1 sh and this So right now, actually, don't forget about this one, it's very important. Permission denied. Can't create sysconfig backup device, permission denied. Why is this? Let's go and see the boot options. Mount SDA1 to see boot xlinux.conf. I will delete this one. If you don't have a TCE folder specified, this is another tidbit. It can automatically detect if you have a hard drive connected, like a USB hard drive or something, and it will configure it as a TCE device. So again, let's reboot and see what's happening. You can also see syslog and kernel log starting, loading extensions. All right. Let's try directly this tool. I don't know, something is can create temp file tool. I don't know why it's doing this. I can find out this. I'm sure it's not something very Let's see if bootlocal is updated. Actually, the backing up of the file is working, but it's giving me an error. I don't want to make this video any more longer than I've already done. So the thing that I wanted to show you before I go here in init.d, sorry, is in etc init.d. Sorry, I'm erratic right now. There are these initialization scripts, and the most important one is this one, tcconfig. And here you will find all the boot codes that I have shown you and some more. So if you don't know what are the boot codes, and maybe you cannot find them in the documentation, or although you can find them easily, you can look them up here and maybe figure out what they are doing. So it's a good idea to study this tcconfig file, because it will help you a lot to understand how the system is initialized. So this is pretty much everything I wanted to show you. Let's try and connect again. Now it's not working anymore, this one, but it doesn't matter. So I hope you have learned a couple of things and you are more comfortable with this operating system. And see you in the next lesson. So bye bye.